Getting all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Water Juice channel, and today we've got a special one for you. It's a special type of rebuild because I'm not necessarily going to be rebuilding the team as that's the whole goal. It's kind of a mixture of my normal rebuilds that I do and a revival series type of rebuild where you focus on one player and try to revive their career and make them as good as possible. It's kind of a mixture of both because today we are going to be utilizing the Madden 18 FFC roster that I put a video out, its own separate video out a couple of days ago on the channel, alerting you guys to it, showing you how to download it, tutorial style, going over a little bit of the roster, showing some of the important player models that are now in the game from that roster. So if you want to go check out that video, it's on the channel from a couple of days ago. And I said in that video that I was going to be in the future using that roster to do a couple of videos, and here is the first one. So today we are going to be re-simming Carson Wentz's NFL career and trying to fix it, trying to save it, because obviously we know that Carson Wentz in his prime was an MVP candidate at one point. In that 2017 season, 2018 season, right before he gets hurt, and obviously Nick Foles goes on to win the Super Bowl for them, even though I almost threw up my mouth saying that. Carson Wentz was like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But then he gets hurt, Nick Foles takes over, the rest is history. After Nick Foles takes over, Carson Wentz never really bounces back. He's never the same player. He bounces around a couple of different teams. I know he was on the Colts for a season. He might have been on the Commanders at one point. I don't even know where all he ended up in his career, and I don't even know if he's in the league anymore. He might be a backup somewhere. I have honestly no idea. But we are going to take the time machine and travel back to 2018 and hopefully stop all that from happening. I want to win another Super Bowl, obviously. I want to win one, but have Carson Wentz be the starter. And then I want to just make sure that Carson Wentz's career plays out how he would have hoped it would have and not how it ended up playing out. So that's what this video is about. I don't know how long it's going to be. Obviously, you guys know because you can see the timestamp. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I at least want to win 1 or 2 Super Bowls with this Eagles team, so we're going to find out how long that takes. If you're going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club if you want to see any other types of videos like this with players that we try to fix their career after an injury or they just fell off or something like that using this 2018 roster. Let me know down below in the comments. Also, modding is now official on Madden 25. So once the rosters come out and the draft classes come out and all the good mods come out, then we will be moving over to PC to really dive deep into some modded franchises and all that kind of stuff like we do every year that modding is available on Madden, because that's my favorite type of series to make, is a modded series, because I like going back into the retro stuff and doing all that. So once that's all up and running and the stuff is official and actually good looking and all that kind of stuff, I'll keep an eye on it, but keep an eye on the channel because we're going to be jumping into some modding really, really soon on PC. But for right now, we have kind of modding here on PS5 with Carson Wentz and the 2018 Philadelphia Eagles. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's go save Carson Wentz's NFL career. So here we are. It is the year 2018, and we are with the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, Carson Wentz, 96 overall, X-Factor quarterback. I talked about how he was an MVP candidate at this point in his NFL career, looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league. And we're going to hope to actually make that a reality. So Carson Wentz, the starting quarterback. We've got LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi as the running backs. The wide receiver core needs a little bit of work. We've got Alshon Jeffrey. We've got Torrey Smith, Nelson Aguilar, Mac Hollins. Yeah, this wide receiver core needs a little bit of work. But the offensive line doesn't need much work. We've got Brandon Brooks, Lane Johnson, Jason Peters. Obviously, recently retired Jason Kelsey, who has his face scan in the game. That's one of the ones that I pointed out in that tutorial video. So Jason Kelsey is the starting center. The real only upgrade we would need to make is probably Chance Warmack. And he's not even that bad, but he's not on the same level as the rest of the offense line, so maybe that would be the reason why we would want to add him. Zach Ertz is here. Brett Selleck is even here. So, I mean, we got the whole boys. We got the whole crew. And then on defense, there's probably a little bit more work to be done on the defensive side than the offensive side. We've got Nigel Bradham, Jordan Hicks, Michael Kendricks before. I'm pretty sure he's in prison right now, or maybe he's getting ready to go to prison, or maybe he already had been in prison. I know he was in prison, or his name was around prison for a while, because I think he did like tax evasion or something along those lines. Then you've got Rodney McLeod, you've got Malcolm Jenkins, excuse me. Is this Patrick Robinson? Who is this? Yeah, Patrick Robinson, I thought so. So you got Patrick Robinson. This Eagles team needs a little bit of work on the defensive side. Probably more so than the offense. You've got Ronald Darby, you got Jalen Mills, real life former Patriot, current Eagle, future Patriot. Vinny Curry, a rookie Derek Barnett, Fletcher Cox, Timmy Jernigan. It's a good team. It needs a little bit of help on the defense, especially in the middle linebacker spot. We could put Nigel Bradham here and then have Grugier Hill play outside, but I feel like we might as well just upgrade the middle linebacker spot because we're going to have to do that anyway. So, because if we put Bradham in middle linebacker, then we're going to have to upgrade the outside line. So we might as well just keep it how it is and upgrade the middle linebacker spot. So we are going to hopefully do this. And the reason why I am the owner of the team and not the head coach of the team is because I went the extra step and I fired Nick Sirianni and I brought back Doug Peterson because he was the head coach at the time of this era. And it just so happens that he's in the league again as the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I chose the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles. I chose the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, fired both coaches, and then hired Doug Peterson. I also retired the the owner of the Jaguars. So we only are controlling the Eagles. But Doug Peterson is now the head coach of the Eagles again. Because, like I said, he was the head coach in this era with the Super Bowl team. So the only downside about this and why it's not really like an official retro rebuild or anything like that is because the draft classes are not here yet. At least on console, they're not. So we are going to be doing auto-generated. So it's not going to be a full immersion style. I did actually download a couple of draft classes from around this time, and they weren't good. So no offense to whoever made those draft classes, but I'm looking for real player portraits. I'm looking for all that kind of like immersion stuff, and on console they just don't have that yet, or maybe they'll never get it. I don't know. That's why when we go to PC, it'll be a lot better because we'll get the player portraits, we'll get all that kind of stuff. It'll be more immersive. So for this rebuild and for the ones that we do on console, we probably won't have any draft classes, so we won't be bringing in guys like Joe Burrow or Baker. Actually, Baker's probably on the Browns already. We won't be bringing in guys like Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence or Kyler Murray, whoever's been drafted in the recent years since this season happened. So nothing like that'll happen, but it's as close as we can get on console. So here we go. It is time. I'm just going to simulate the whole season and just see how Carson Wentz does. We are running the Jacksonville playbooks now because obviously they're similar to how Doug Peterson would have had his playbooks in Philadelphia, so I just kept his Jacksonville ones. And we're going to see how Carson Wentz does. Now, I do know that there's not a lot of skill on this wide receiver course, so maybe he's not going to do very well. But Jacksonville doesn't have a lot of skill at wide receiver either, to be fair. So maybe he will do better than I think. Maybe we should make a trade because, like I said, this is 2018, so all of the players are on their original teams that they were in this season, and the rosters are how they should be. So how should we bring in another wide receiver? I feel like that might be something we need to do. Oh, rest in peace to Demaryius Thomas. Josh Gordon's still in the league now. A younger Mike Evans, not a super young Mike Evans, but younger. I mean, he's been in the league for like 4 years now. So, or 3 years, whatever it is. Mike Evans at 83. That might not be a bad shout. Chris Godwin's super young. Probably just a rookie, I would think. Larry Fitzgerald's still here. Tyreek Hill's on the Chiefs. He's super young. Oh, this is, by the way, this is rookie Patrick Mahomes because we're in like 2017, 2018. So here he is, Patrick Mahomes. Let's see. Terrell Pryor. I am a big Terrell Pryor guy because I'm a Buckeye fan, so obviously it would be. Who do I want to go for? Do I even want to go for anybody? I don't know. Odell in his prime? We probably don't have the assets to be able to get him. Oh, Robbie Anderson before he changed his name to Robbie Chosen. Devontae Adams back in the Packers. Oh, this Patriots team. This is a Super Bowl team that got denied because of the Philly special. I'm not bitter about it. Raiders. Oh, Tavon Austin's still here. Cooper Kupp is a rookie. Ooh. Ooh. Michael Thomas, X Factor. I like that. Antonio Brown, we're never going to be able to get Antonio. Braxton Miller. I love me some Braxton Miller. I'm thinking we go for rookie Cooper Kupp. I think that might be a fun one. We just develop him. He shouldn't be that difficult to trade for, I wouldn't think. He's only like a 75. He's not going to be that difficult. They want second-round picks, third-round picks. Okay, so this isn't that difficult to get at all. We can really make this work. And if we toss in Nelson Aguilar, because I simply don't want him. Actually, you know what? Torrey Smith. You can take Torrey Smith back. He's a veteran. See, look at that. That's already halfway in the red. That's really not supposed to be that easy, but we are on normal trade difficulty. We have 2 third-round picks, 2 fourth-round picks, 2 fifth-round picks. Is this what the Eagles have in real life? Because they might not have adjusted the draft picks in the mod or in the roster, because I don't think you can. But I will give we have 2 third-round picks in 2026. I'll give 1 third-round pick, and that already takes it to the yellow, or the orange, I guess. And I'll give a 4th-round pick this year, because we simply don't need 2 fourth-round picks, I don't think. That gets us into the light green. What about a 4th-round pick in 2027? It would probably be a lot easier if I just gave a better player, but I'm going to stick with Torrey Smith because I don't want him. And Cooper Kupp's a lot better of a player. That's very close. If I give you a 6th-round pick in 2026, it will get accepted. So Torrey Smith and a bunch of draft picks gets us rookie Cooper Kupp to add to the team. He will be a new weapon for Carson Wentz. And I didn't really want to go to this, but I guess it works either. It works too. He will be our new slot guy. So we'll put him right there, and then we'll go all the way to the slot, and we'll make not Brent Selleck, or not Trey Burton. It'll be Cooper Kupp as the slot wide receiver, and he should have a killer season. He should have a really, really good season as the slot guy. Is there any other trades for young rookies that we know are going to be really good? How good is Myles Garrett? I know he's just like a 1-year guy, but what do they have him valued at right now? He's a 77. That's not that hard to get. But there's no trade for him. We can make this happen. A 77 overall player is not untouchable by any means. It's just a matter of who do I give up. Probably Vinny Curry, actually. Don't really want Vinny Curry. Okay, Myles might take a 1st-round pick. But it's Myles Garrett. I wouldn't be mad at giving up a 1st-round pick for him. I would consider Chris Long, too. I know Chris Long was on that Super Bowl team that was very valuable to everybody, but do I want to develop Derek Barnett? That's the question. Do I want to develop Derek Barnett? We obviously know he didn't work out in the league in real life to the extent that they were hoping he would. Because we could have Derek Barnett and Myles Garrett on the same defensive line. Although we have Brandon Graham already, there's not really a spot for Derek Barnett to fit unless we move to a 4-3 and have Brandon Graham play D tackle. That feels a little weird because we have Timmy Jernigan, who's only 24. I feel like Chris Long needs to be in this deal, and then we probably go to a draft pick, and I would consider giving like a 2nd-round pick in 2027 because it is Myles Garrett. That gets very, very close. Okay. What about a 4th-rounder in 2026? Can I take Chris Long out of it? I'll put Chris Long in it. It's not the biggest deal to get rid of Chris Long. He's not that high of an overall anyway. And that is accepted. So Vinny Curry and Chris Long in a 2nd and a 4 gets us 2nd-year player Myles Garrett, former number 1 overall pick. That's huge. And the final trade that I would want to go for is maybe a corner. Maybe get an extra corner. I know we could go for like a middle linebacker because I talked about how we needed that. But is there any young corners in this roster that we know are going to end up being pretty good? that we can capitalize on before they end up being pretty good. Let's see. Fabian Moreau, rookie. Not going to go for that. Although we could change him and make him good. Awuzie. I am a big Awuzie type of guy. Who do we want to take on? Jalen Ramsey's too difficult to get. That'd be a perfect one, though. He'd be too difficult to get. Obviously, this is the year before they get, or maybe a couple years before they get Jair Alexander, so he's not here yet. Malcolm Butler, Stephon Gilmore at 26. Ooh, that might be pretty good. He's on a 5-year deal, or he's got 5 years left on his deal. That one might not be bad at all. I might take Sherman's still here. Is Thomas and Earl Thomas is still here in camp. Okay, Legion of Boom's still around. I wasn't sure when Cam Chancellor retired. So I like the Stephon Gilmore trade. That's the only one I'm really feeling right now. So I'm going to go back to the Patriots. We're going to talk to them about, not Malcolm Butler, about Stephon Gilmore. And they want a 2nd and a 4 or a 2nd, a 3, and a 7. Okay. We can work with that. They need a strong safety. We have Malcolm Jenkins and Jalen Watkins. I guess I could give them Jalen Watkins. I don't really want to give them Malcolm Jenkins. I could trade them Patrick Robinson simply because he's 29. I mean, maybe that would help out. Because Ronald Darby and Sidney Jones are both 23, 21. They're super young. Jalen Mills is only 23. We could move Jalen Mills to safety, which is what he actually ends up playing in his career. I think it's free safety, actually, is what he plays. So we could end up doing that, or we just keep him at corner. Maybe Patrick Robinson for Stephon Gilmore is not that bad of a trade. It gets us pretty close to the orange. They need a right outside linebacker and a D tackle. We have Michael Kendricks, Conor Grugier-Hill. I don't really want to trade any D tackles because we have Timmy Jernigan that I kind of want to develop. They need a wide receiver as well. All we have is the 3 guys that I want to keep around, or at least 2 in Alshon Jeffrey and Cooper Kupp. Do I just give up another draft pick? Because we have 2/3 still. What do I want to do here? How do I want to get Stephon Gilmore? I could give them... I'm a big LeGarrette Blount guy. Blunt force trauma is a huge part of my youth. But Corey Clement is not. That gets us into the yellow. Okay. Donnell Pumphrey, man, he was a stud at San Diego State. What about if I just toss in Mac Hollins? Because he's Mac Hollins. He's not good. No, that's not really going to make any difference. I think it might have to be a draft pick at this point. But maybe we can get away with giving up not anything good. Maybe like a 5 and a 5. Okay, what about if I give up a 7 and a 7? Because we're really draining ourselves of draft picks. Oh, that gets very close. I don't think I have any more 6s, do I? Unless I have one this year. No, I don't have any from this year. I guess I can give up both of my 5s from this year. Trade offer accepted. So Patrick Robinson, Corey Clement, and a bunch of late round picks gets us Stephon Gilmore. He's only 26 years old, and he's on 5 years left on his contract, so he's looking pretty good. Okay, so I think those are going to be the only trades that we make at the very beginning of the rebuild. We'll generate the best lineup, Jeffrey, Kupp, all that good stuff, yada, yada, yada. Okay, and then on defense, we add in Myles Garrett. We add in Stephon Gilmore. Now we have 4 good corners that I trust. So I like that. The only addition we need to make is a middle linebacker, and then we need to make sure that Cooper Kupp is the slot guy, and he is. He also has an upgrade, okay. The upgrade, we're going to make him upgrade at slot. 76 overall. Can I make his number 10? Somebody wearing number 10? Let's check. Number 10 for Cooper Kupp. It is worn by somebody. I don't know who's wearing it. Who would be wearing number 10 in this game or in this team? Would it be Jeffrey? Is that no? I don't know. Let's go to the actual roster and find out because that'll show us all the numbers. So one last thing: NFL rosters. Who's got number 10 on? Number 10 is worn by. Who's got it? Well, if it's somebody down this far. Oh, it's Mac Hollins. Oh, get that out of here. Mac Hollins wearing number 10. That's disrespectful. Get that out of here. You can wear number 5, sure, whatever. You're not going to play, so it's not going to matter. Okay. Wide receiver, Cooper Kupp. I need to make sure Myles Garrett's wearing number 95, right? This is number 95? Pretty sure it says number. So Cooper Kupp will wear number 10. And then we will make sure that Garrett is wearing the right number. He's wearing number 94. So who's wearing 95? 55. Who's got it? Oh, it's Michael Kendricks wearing number 95. Did he wear number 95? That feels weird that a linebacker would wear number 95. Let me look him up real quick. Did he wear number 95? Michael Kendricks. Did you wear number 95? No, he wore number... Oh, he did wear number 95. That feels weird. He also wore 54. But on the Eagles, he was wearing number 95. That feels weird. I'm going to change him because now we have Myles Garrett. But on the Seahawks, he was number 56. And it looks like he played for Cleveland a little bit, and he was number 54. So we got a couple extra numbers. But he wore number 95 on the Eagles. That's really weird. Whatever. We'll change him to one of his other numbers that he wore. It looks like 56 is the only one open. So he can wear number 56 so that Myles Garrett can wear number 95. Because Myles Garrett is going to be better. So bada bing, bada boom. We can have that fixed just like that. Perfect. Okay, so that's all we need to do. Let's simulate season 1 and see how Myles Garrett does, but see how Carson Wentz does, because he's really the focus of the video. So let's see how the team does and see how Carson Wentz does, and hopefully we can get to the Super Bowl, because obviously that's the end-all be-all. We wrap up year number 1 with an 11-6 record. Not exactly how I would have preferred the season to go, but that's what simulation does for you sometimes. Jay Ajayi actually finished second in the league in rushing yards, which is pretty cool. Good for him. Carson Wentz, very solid season. 3,800 yards, 32 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's pretty darn good for Carson Wentz. That's a good starting point to build up for the future, obviously. Jay Ajayi, we know what his numbers were. He had a really, really good season. Alshon Jeffrey, over 1,000 yards with 8 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, almost 1,000 yards in the slot, which is nice, with 12 touchdowns as well. Aguilar had some good stuff. Zach Ertz had some good stuff. Defensively, 114 tackles from Jordan Hicks. Chris Maragos had 94 tackles. Okay, whatever. 75 tackles from Cox. And Jenkins had 74. Tackle for loss leader was Timmy Jernigan. That's good to see. He's young. I would like to see him become something. Fletcher Cox, 14. 9 for Brandon Graham. Sack leader was Fletcher Cox with 11. 5 for young Myles Garrett. I'll take that. 4.5 for Timmy Jernigan. Interception leader was Maragos with 3. So did Jalen Mills and Rodney McLeod. Malcolm Jenkins 2. Stephon Gilmore had 2. Okay. Some weird things happening. Chris Maragos, not somebody I would have expected to be saying his name. Maybe he'll get a dev trade upgrade. Who knows? We have the New Orleans Saints. Are we going to win game 1 of the playoffs? We do, actually. Wow. Okay. I was not expecting to win game 1. Okay. We take the first round of the playoffs. We go to Minnesota. And we are going to try to beat them. They're 11-6, just like us. What will happen? Will we play in the NFC Divisional or in the NFC Championship? We will. Okay. I'm here for a wild ride. Carson Wentz is now a true 99 overall player, which is exactly where we want him to be. And we are 1 game away from the Super Bowl. But, cheeks, we are taking on the 15-2 Rams. This is a tough matchup. And, of course, it's the NFC Championship. I'm going to jump in and try to help the boys. But this is not going to be easy whatsoever. It is the NFC Championship game against the LA Rams. And this Rams team is very good. They're 15-2 for a reason. We're playing in SoFi Stadium here on the road. Obviously, Rams have been in Los Angeles for a long time, but I don't think they were in SoFi at this time in history. I think they might have still been playing in the Coliseum, if I'm not mistaken. I would like to hold on to the lead, though. Can we do that? 21-9? 24-9. There's not much time left. 24-16. Please end the game, and we do. Thank you. Eagles going to the Super Bowl. 24-16. This time it's led by Carson Wentz. No longer is Big Dick Nick starting for the Eagles. Carson Wentz getting the job done. Good job, Carson. He had 3 touchdowns and 253 yards, so he didn't play bad. He played very well, actually. And are we going to be taking on the Patriots? That would be hilarious in the first year. Myles Garrett gets an upgrade point. Good for him. That would be pretty darn hilarious if we were taking on the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. Because I think this is the same... This would be the same Super Bowl, right? Because we're in the 2017-2018 season, and the Eagles played the Patriots in the 2018 Super Bowl. But it's not the Patriots. It is the LA Chargers, who were they in San Diego? How long have they been in LA? The Patriots were the number 1 seed but got bumped by the Steelers in the first round. That's disrespectful. Oh, when did the Chargers move to LA? Have they been the LA Chargers for that long? They couldn't have been in LA at the same time the Rams were, right? Before the stadium was built, there's no way. They had to have still been in San Diego. I don't remember. But we're taking them on in the Super Bowl. Jared Goff won the MVP of the league, so you can tell the Rams were really, really good. But this is our chance to get Carson Wentz the Super Bowl that he deserves as the starter, because he got one, obviously, on that team. But he deserves to have it as the starting quarterback, and then maybe we go a year more and see if we can defend it, win a couple more. Who knows? But let's go get the first one. It is the Super Bowl against the Chargers. Now, obviously, the Super Bowl logos and everything are the modern ones that are going to be in the Super Bowl this year in real life. But we'll still win the Super Bowl either way. It's 7-3, 7-6 now. This is obviously Phillip Rivers and all the boys. 13-14. Come on, defense. We need to play a little bit better. There's a touchdown, 19-14. Now it's 19-17. 22-17. Helps when you have Jake Elliott as your kicker. Okay. I'm liking the way this is going. 29-17. I like that a lot. Touchdown by the Chargers. Just end the game. We couldn't end the game. I don't know what happened there. It's 32-29. I don't know what happened there. We must have turned it over immediately or something, because the Chargers had the ball and they scored to make it 29-32. I don't like this whatsoever. Get that ball to Zach Ertz. Beautifully done. 2nd and inches. We have all 3 of our timeouts. The hurry up is going. The clock is moving. I'm going to roll Carson Wentz. I'm going to take off. I know I have a couple options here, but Carson's got a great block down the field. Carson Wentz got way more yards than I ever expected. That was an amazing block. I think that might have been Alshon Jeffrey who threw that. I don't even know who threw. Maybe it was Aguilar. Who knows? Somebody threw a crazy block on that sideline there, allowing me to get a lot more yards than I ever needed to get. And Zach Ertz will get a crazy catch as well. 270, so he does have an interception in the game, so I'm assuming that's how the Chargers got the ball at the very end of the game and was able to score the touchdown. Under a minute to go. Carson Wentz fires, caught, dropped. Aguilar couldn't hang on to it. A little bit overthrown, I'll be honest. A little bit overthrown by Carson, but that's okay. I'm looking at either Kupp or Ertz here. I'm going to go Ertz because it's quick. Turn up the field. Zach Ertz gets it. I'm actually going to call one of my timeouts here just because that allows me to run the football with Jay Ajayi. If we can run the football with Jay Ajayi, turn up the field. Jay, okay. Not going to call hurry up or anything. We're just going to let it roll a little bit. Do a little slant play. Ajayi could be open here. I'm going to look his direction. He's not. But Carson's going to have to move. Carson Wentz, call a second timeout, got sacked. Not ideal. We can play for the field goal, but I don't really want to play for the field goal. I want to play for the touchdown. I just don't know if the touchdown is going to be a viable option. Maybe it is if Carson Wentz can do a little bit more magic. Carson Wentz at the 2. I thought maybe I had it there. And now here's the big question. Do we kick the field goal? I think we have to, right? They're going to freeze me. It's Jim Harbaugh. That's not who the coach was in 2018, but that's okay. Who was the coach of the 2018 Chargers? Would it have been Brandon Staley was here? I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? But they're going to freeze me. They're going to ice me. Oh, God. Okay. This is going to be kind of difficult here. I don't really know if I'm lined up. I think that's lined up. And I'm going to hope that's good. Jake Elliott drills it. We tie it at 32. Luckily, we got so far down the field that it didn't really matter. but we're playing in overtime, and I think the Chargers just had their possession and didn't do anything with it. So I'm pretty sure it's next score wins. We're going to go quick to Zach Ertz. If I would have held a little bit longer, Cooper Kupp might have been open down the field, but I didn't want to wait. I want to get those yards, move up the field. And we can basically run a normal offense at this point. We can call run plays. We can do whatever we want. Because it's not going to end in a tie, that's for sure. We'll just go to a second overtime. Let's call a bench play. But I want to get Carson out on the move, so we'll have to roll to the right side. Let's roll, let's roll, let's roll. I'm going to scramble with Carson if I can get another great block, and I do from Zach Ertz. Great block, late hit, but great block. 3 minutes to go in the game, or in the overtime period. I'm going to hand this off to Jay Ajayi again. There's the handoff. He bounces outside, cuts it back inside. The change of direction for Ajayi is not great, but it's still a really good run. The Y trail. I don't know if since the Chargers had a possession already, can we kick a field goal and win, or do we have to actually score a touchdown? I'm not 100% sure. I think either one would work, but I want to score a touchdown just to be safe. So that's a great play from Aguilar. Good throw from Wentz, and we'll call the exact same play and then roll out and then throw it away because it didn't work that second time. That's okay. Carson's a little upset. Just a little bit of a wasted down. Not too bad. Second down and 10. Go quickly to Kupp. He holds on. 3rd and 7. Maybe I should have waited a little bit longer, see if that opened up a little bit more. We'll hit the drive corner here. Let me roll. Oh, I've got Ajayi. A little bit underthrown, but Ajayi holds on. He gets the first down, which is the biggest portion of that. 1st and goal from the 4. We can afford to run the football at least once because we have 2 timeouts. Ajayi doesn't even get a yard. Okay, I thought for sure I'd get at least 1. Let's see. What do I want to call here? Let me get in the pistol. And let me call... I don't really want to call a dagger play. That feels a little wrong. Maybe a smash spot. And try to get Burton open. Nope, it's going to be a scramble with Carson Wentz. It's not going to be a scramble with Carson Wentz. It's going to be a throw. Man, the Chargers defensive line got a block. They got out of the block really quickly. I thought I was going to be able to scramble very easily there. Apparently not. 3rd and goal from the 4. Underneath Burton. Aggressive catch. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Trey Burton diving, putting his body on the line for a Super Bowl. And that might be the game. Carson Wentz might have just won the game for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it is over. It was next score wins because the Chargers already had a possession. Philadelphia gets the Super Bowl, but this time it is Carson Wentz and not Nick Foles who led the team to it. No Philly special. But we do get the championship. Okay, so now that we have championship number 1 taken care of, I'm probably going to go at least 1 more season, maybe 2, because I want to see how we can go next year. But this team was the team of destiny. We won 11 games. We had really no business getting to the Super Bowl, but we did, and we had to play the Rams, who were probably the best team in football that year, or this year. But Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson reunited, and they get to hold a championship as Carson Wentz being the starter. Oh, feels so good. And he gets Super Bowl MVP as well. You love to see it, Carson. He's back. He's back. Carson Wentz has arrived at what he deserves probably. And that was a huge run right there. That was way more of a run than I was hoping or that I was expecting. That was a crazy, crazy run. 4 touchdowns, 334 yards. It's no shocker that he won the Super Bowl MVP there. But we win the Super Bowl in the first season. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now we can go to the offseason and try and build this team a little bit better. Especially the defense, the linebackers and stuff, because the defense is a little bit shaky in this playoff run. A little bit shaky against the Rams, a little bit shaky against the Chargers. So let's move on. I wonder if we'll get any depth trade upgrades, though. Obviously, we can't with Carson because he's already an X Factor. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get some other ones. Let's get to the re-sign period. I don't even know how much money we have. I haven't even taken a look. I just simulated the entire season. I don't even taken a look at the negotiations or anything. But we have $96 million. Who's going to be in need of a new contract? That's going to be a big question. I have absolutely no idea who's going to be needing a new contract. But first, before we take a look at that, let's take a look at the lineup Dev trade upgrades. We've got a giant superstar. I don't remember him being superstar before, but he could have been. He could have been star. He could have been superstar. I don't remember. It looks like Jason Peters has retired, so the left side of the offensive line is a little bit weak now. Okay. Cooper Kupp is growing. Defensively, Myles Garrett stays at star. Fletcher Cox has X Factor now. That's new. Sidney Jones has superstar. Okay. That's pretty awesome. He might as well just go ahead of Ronald Darby at that point. But nobody else really changes anything. Everybody else's dev trade is pretty good. Okay, so the defense needs a little bit more work than the offense does, but we might need to work on that offensive line a little bit. $97 million, we got to accept the option on J.J. That's a lot of money for Alshon Jeffrey. I don't know if I'm going to pay that. The rest of these guys aren't really that important to the team. Jalen Watkins, $22 million for a 73 overall. I'm not going to pay that. Alshon Jeffrey being so... Oh, why do you want that much money, Alshon? That's not something I want to pay you. Absolutely not. I know he wants to be back, but that's a little insane to pay him $72 million. Maybe there's something we can get for him. We can get Deshaun Jackson. We can get Josh Doxson, Mohamed Sanu, Alan Hearns. Okay, so we can get some very okay players, but nothing too crazy. What about just swapping in for wide receivers? What kind of stuff can we do here? How old is Josh Gordon? He's 27, not worth it. Mike Evans has ascended. Maybe if I was going to get Mike Evans, I should have gotten him at the beginning of the season because he's ascended to be a great player. Tyreek Hill is going to be impossible to get unless we give up a bunch of first-round picks. Dez is still here, but Dez is probably going to be pretty tough. I don't think we're going to be able to get him. Jarvis, no. Devontae Parker would be interesting. Obviously, Odell, I'd love to get. Can I just send a feeler out for Odell? Why is that closer than it should be? Oh, what a rush. I hate that I want to do this. Okay, Matt Collins doesn't make any difference. Quarterback, I will glad to give you Nick Foles. That moves it up a little bit. They need a middle linebacker. Well, so do we. They need a right tackle. We have Lane Johnson. That's it. They need a running back. I already traded Corey Clement. I can give them Wendell Smallwood. Unfortunate last name. That takes it into the yellow. And then I guess just draft picks because I can't do anything else with players. I've already given up most of our draft capital for the next couple of years. But luckily, or at least I don't think this series is going to go into the draft too much. That gets us into the green, or lime green, I guess. I have 2 third-round picks this year. I haven't used one yet. Another one into the green. I guess I can give a 5 and a 7 from 2027. No, I guess not. I didn't really want to give up a third in 2027 because that would leave me with just a 5 or a 1 and a 7. But I mean, it's Odell. It still didn't go through. I don't really have anything else, do I? Oh my god, this is so close. I think I can get it with 3 third-round picks. But do I want to give up a third-round pick? Maybe. Because it is Odell at the end of the day. So I could give up this third-round pick. Or maybe I give up this 4th-round pick. No, it's going to have to be that third. It's going to have to be this third. But I'll do it. Trade offer accepted. Odell Beckham Jr. is now a Philadelphia Eagle. I know it's an in-division trade, but that's kind of crazy, actually, to sign or to trade for Odell Beckham Jr. He's going to need a new contract next season, but I'd be gladly to pay him. I'd be happy to pay him instead of Alshon Jeffrey, that's for sure. Okay, I'm not going to re-sign Trey Burton or anything like that. I think that's going to be all we do, and we move to the free agent period. I wonder what the free agent class is going to even look like. Is there going to be anybody of note? There's going to be Chris Boswell, Gio Bernard, Starlo Tulele, Greg Robinson, 30-year-old Navarro Bowman. Taylor Gabriel's not bad. A 30-year-old Navarro Bowman's not the worst thing in the world. Maybe for a season. Colin Kaepernick is here. Teddy Two Gloves. Ryan Mallett, rest in peace. RG3 at 28. Who's this 24-year-old? Nate Sudfeld. Nick Mullins, 23 years old. I mean, we kind of need a backup. We kind of don't. Marshawn Lynch is here. I might sign Marshawn Lynch just for the fun of it. I'll offer Marshawn Lynch a contract. Wide receivers, I certainly could use an extra one. Is there an extra one? Julian Edelman, 32. Terrell Pryor. Terrell Pryor wants to be here. That's enough for me. We got our backup quarterback. We got our backup quarterback in Terrell Pryor. That's enough for me. Tight ends, Austin Seferian Jenkins, Martellus Bennett. Martellus Bennett would be a nice backup. We'll pay him a little contract. Left tackle, I talked about we needed to probably upgrade it, but there's nobody here that's better than what we have already. Left guard, Justin Pugh. Nobody at center. We don't need a center anyway. Jack Mewhort, though, that's not that bad. But he's only a 78. I might bring him in as a backup. We'll see what happens. I'll give him a 3-year deal. We'll see what happens with that. We only got one more offer for this little evaluation period. Defensive line, the tackles. We don't really need anybody in the defensive line. Outside linebacker, middle linebacker is where we could use an extra guy. And I might just put my final one on Navarro Bowman, just because I think that might be fun. Because the corners are not anybody I'm interested in. Neither the safeties or the free safeties or the strong safeties. So I might just put my last offer on. Although we could go for Shaq Barrett. That's interesting. I didn't even see Shaq Barrett here. I might go Shaq Barrett, actually, because he's a little bit younger. So we'll put our final one on him. So our targeted guys, if I go out to this, we got Mewhort, Barrett, Lynch, Bennett, and Pryor. Okay, so we got everybody that I offered. Is Navarro Bowman still available? He is. I might still go after Navarro Bowman. And that might be my final addition. And we got Navarro Bowman. Okay. All right, I feel like that was a pretty interesting free agent period. We didn't spend a ton of money, but we did spend about $40 million to get 6 players to add to the squad. We add Odell Beckham Jr. in the trade. We add Terrell Pryor, Nelson Aguilar. We have Vaitai. We bring in Jack Mewhort to be a backup. We have Martellus Bennett as a backup now. Defensively, Navarro Bowman fills in the middle linebacker spot. And we've got ourselves, is that it? Oh, Shaq Barrett. There's Shaq Barrett too. Okay, perfect. I like the team now. I really do. We could just make Derek Barnett the starter over Brandon Graham. I wouldn't hate that, especially because of the depth trait. I might do that, actually. Okay, Cooper Kupp is still the slot receiver. That's fine. Brandon Graham's still going to get playtime because he's one of the rush ends. But I want to get Derek Barnett a little bit of starter reps, so we're going to do that. And we will get to the draft. I have no idea how this draft is going to look. I haven't even taken a look at it except for when I did the focus players. So I have no idea what this draft is going to entail. Absolutely no idea. Hopefully it's got some good players in it. Private workouts. What do we got? We got a top 5 receiver, 2 top 5 receivers. They both look phenomenal, but this dude looks even more phenomenal. Oh my God. Trey Iglesias, 6'5", 4.49 speed, elite strength. I mean, he runs routes fantastically. And he's got a catch, and he looks like a freaking stud. But then you've got Jalen Bolden from Alabama. Alabama's got great receiving history. And he's a burner. Oh my God. These 2 wide receivers are phenomenal. They both look amazing. I don't even know where to go. Oh my God. Those 2 dudes look absolutely unreal. It's kind of rare that you see It's kind of rare that you see 2 wide receivers at the top, both top 5. And they are both unbelievable players, but they're not going to go number 1 overall. Bolden will go number 5, and Iglesias goes number 6. All we have is our own first-round pick, obviously, which is 32. Is there a way to get... Well, there is a way, obviously. Jalen Bolden seems like a absolute freak. They both seem like they're going to be unbelievable players. Do I need to trade up? I wasn't planning on trading up to get these guys, but I guess I have to. I mean, that seems unbelievable. That wide receiver looks like an absolute freak of nature. And we should have enough staff points to fix this tree all the way out. Buy all that stuff. And with all of this, it should be slightly easier to make 1-for-1 first-round pick trades. And we have enough to purchase the discounts on players. All right, that's really all you need to do for trading. All right, so we got the full trading tree bought out. So, I mean, it's possible for me to trade up. Can I do 2-for-1? Or not 2-for-1, but one spot. Skip one spot and trade up 2 spots. I got pick 32. Who's got pick 30? Pick 30 is held by the Ravens, the Rams, because they lost in the NFC title game. Okay, so I'm going to have to go 1-for-1, unfortunately. Not what I like to do, because it takes a little bit longer, but it should be simple enough. I'm going to go do this until I can get up to the number 5 spot with the 49ers. We're going to take that Bolden, who's a phenomenal freak wide receiver, and then we're going to see what else happens. Okay, we've done the dirty work. We've gotten up to the number 5 pick so that we can grab ourselves that freak athlete wide receiver, pair him alongside Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham Jr., and we are going to be unstoppable. We already have a Super Bowl. We're going to go get another one. So the number 1 overall pick in the draft, the Jets have it. They take Villarreal, who is a quarterback. And at this time, the Jets are still finding their quarterback. They don't have Aaron. The Giants are up next. They grab a right outside linebacker. The Bears are up. They take a defensive end. Yes, a defensive end, Kai Robertson. Then we've got the Browns taking somebody, Mason. He is a defensive end as well. And now we're up. And we are going to grab ourselves a wide receiver, and his name is Jalen Bolden from Alabama. And he looks like an absolute freak. I mean, he's got elites all across the board. He runs routes amazingly. He's fantastic. He might be the best player in the class. The other wide receiver looks amazing as well. The Iglesias dude, he is the best player in the class. Immediate starter, elite speed, hands made of glue. 99 jumping. 96 speed, 97 acceleration. This might be the best wide receiver I've ever drafted. And I drafted Dickie Guyton a couple of years ago in Madden franchise. So, and he was a freak. That might be the best receiver I've ever drafted. He looks unbelievable. Now we go all the way to the second round with our 32nd pick of the second round. Who is going to be available? Probably nobody. Which means we go to the offensive line and see if there's anybody available. Is there any offensive lineman? Day 3, 3 to 4... 3 to 4. There is a round 2 to 3 center, or not center, right guard. Is he worth taking? Mason Ridgeway, 6'3". Not the greatest athlete, but he's okay. He's probably not a second round pick. I don't even know if I'd take him in the 4th round. I might take him in the 4th round. Who's this guy? This guy is Lucas Patton. He's a better athlete. Awareness. He looks better than the other guy, but he's around 3 to 4. You know what? Well, I'm gonna take him. What does it matter? What does it matter? It's not gonna be a big deal. He's number 80 in true value. He does have a dev trait, which is nice. It's always nice to have offensive linemen with dev traits. So that'll be nice. We go to the 4th round, because remember I traded both of my 3rd round picks to get Odell Beckham Jr., and this will probably be the final pick that I use, because the other pick we have is a 7th round pick, and I'm not going to use that. Is there anybody in the world with elite speed? There's no more corners with elite speed. What about just all positions? There's only one player with elite speed. It's Max Austin. There's also this tight end who has elite everything except for speed. Very interesting. This outside linebacker, Max Austin, has elite speed, 4.61. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He's not good at really anything. He's just kind of fast. He's just a guy. He's just a guy. There's a couple of elite acceleration players. There's a 24-year-old corner, Clayton Ross. That's not really where I want to be in my life. I don't want to be drafting a 24-year-old corner. So maybe there's some elite strength guys we can grab. There's a free safety with elite strength. Interesting. Douglas Short. His hit power is a B. His pursuit's a B. His tackling is a B. I might take Douglas Short. He's not going to be very good, but he's number 224. Does he have NFL speed? I don't know if he has NFL speed. 86 is not bad. 87 acceleration. That's not horrible. I mean, it's nothing special by any means, but it's not like 86 speed is serviceable. It's playable. It's going to get burnt by our wide receiver, absolutely. Good thing we have him on the team. How good was this draft in general? I want to see how good that other wide receiver is. 84 overall for Jalen Bolden. He's a demon. Oh my God, he's an unbelievable player. I'm telling you, that's the best wide receiver I've ever drafted. He might even be the best player I've ever drafted. He's so much better than Trey Iglesias. I'm so happy I chose Bolden over Iglesias. He's unbelievable. He's by far the best player in this class. This is the weirdest draft class I've ever seen because everybody else is just cheeks. But Jalen Bolden is head and shoulders above everybody else. He's a freak. He's got speed and he can run routes and he's good at catching and he's got 99 spec catch. This dude's unbelievable. He's legit probably the best. He might even be the best player I've ever drafted. I've drafted some really, really good players in these rebuilds and in just videos in general. He might be the best player I've ever drafted. He's an unbelievable player. Wow, I got to see Trey Iglesias because he looked great too. He's a little bit more well-rounded than Bolden is. He's just not as fast as Bolden. What's his dev trait? I'm not going to look at Bolden's draft. What? I'm not going to look at his dev trait, is what I was trying to say the whole time there. It is only star. I'm very happy we chose Bolden, obviously. My God, he looks like an unbelievable monster. It really was worth trading up to number 5 to get him and we got him at 5. Like, we didn't even take him at 1. That is an insane steal. The team just got even better now because we already had Odell Beckham Jr. and Cooper Kupp. But now we toss in Bolden, who already becomes the number 2 receiver. I mean, this team looks unbelievable now. Defensively, we added Navarro Bowman. We're going to have Derek Barnett start at defensive end. Gilmore, Darby, Mills, and Jones, Myles Garrett, Fletcher Cox. This team's good. This team's good. Can we run it back at another championship, back-to-back championships? We will find out. I'll see you guys at the end of season number 2. We finish year number 2 of fixing Carson Wentz's career. We won more games. We're 13-4. Unfortunately, we still weren't the number 1 seed. We were number 2. The Seahawks won 13 games and must have had the tiebreaker over us because they are the number 1 seed. Unfortunate that we didn't get the job done there. But that's okay. How did Carson Wentz play? He played about as good as you could expect Carson Wentz to play. These are fantastic numbers again for the second year in a row. Jay Ajayi had 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns. I mean, we've got 3 amazing wide receivers in Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr., and Jalen Bolden, who I don't know if he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year with these numbers, but still, he had a fantastic season. Cooper Kupp played amazingly. Beckham had a great year. Defensively, we had 92 tackles from Jordan Hicks. Navarro Bowman put up 90. Nice. Jalen Mills had 81. 74 from McLeod. Tackle for loss leader was Fletcher Cox at 13. Barnett had 11. That's a good sign. Timmy Jernigan had 10. Sack leader was Jernigan with 11.5. Where's Myles Garrett at? Myles Garrett only had 1 sack? 16 tackles? What happened, Myles? You're starting. You didn't get hurt because I don't have injuries on. So I don't know how that happened. 4 interceptions for Jalen Mills, 2 for Sidney Jones, 2 for Gilmore, 1 for Bowman. Okay. Kind of weird that Myles Garrett didn't play at all, really. Whatever. Are we going to beat the Detroit Lions in the NFC wildcard round? We will. Okay, nice. Taking on the Dallas Cowboys. in the divisional round. We should be able to get it done in theory, but it's the Cowboys at the end of the day. And it's a young Dak Prescott, a young Zeke Elliott, younger. And we move on. We get a rematch. A rematch in the NFC Championship. The second year in a row, it is the Rams and the Eagles. But this time, we have home field advantage. 13-4 versus 12-5. Will the Rams get their revenge, or will we go back to the Super Bowl? Let's find out. NFC Championship, round 2, Eagles-Rams. We are here in the link for round 2, NFC Championship, Rams-Eagles. We lead 3-0. Last year, the Rams had a really, really good season. They won 15 games, but their season ended by our hand. And now this year, I'm hoping their season will end by our hand. It's not going to be easy, though. This Rams team is still pretty good. I mean, they've got Jared Goff, they've got Todd Gurley, they got Aaron Donald, they got all the guys they had last year. So I'm assuming this is not going to be an easy thing to do. But I want to jump in here and play with the guys. I want to play with Jalen Bolden. He's a stud. But I might have to get this to Cooper Kupp quickly to get the first down conversion. Yeah, get that to Kupp. Just sit down on it, Kupp. Get the first down. We could turn shoe clock on here if we wanted to, but we turn to play the moments. I probably shouldn't have played the moments there, because now they want me to play for the field goal, which is not the worst thing in the world, but it scares me. Although Jay Ajayi says, I don't want to play for the field goal. I want to play for the touchdown. That's a huge play from Jay Ajayi. That is a huge, huge play. Oh, my God. Okay, we cannot score. We cannot score here. Do not score, Jay. Good job. Don't lose any yards, really, either. We need them to use all their timeouts before we get into the end zone, and preferably we need to run even one more play after that. Oh, my God. I didn't even have a chance to not score on that one. That was kind of done for me there. But now they have no more timeouts, but now I'm in a little bit of a sticky situation here where I might have to play for the field goal. We get that to Bolden. I don't like the fact that we had to do that, but if I turn on shoe clock and then kick this, it should shoe the clock. Oh, it didn't actually. Okay, but I can take this down under a minute. Okay, we took it down to 48 seconds. We kicked the field goal. Jake Elliott chip shot, easiest field goal of his life. 13-10. All we have to do is hold on for 47 seconds. They have no timeouts. We used them all. We made them use them all. I would have preferred the touchdown to make them have to kick score a touchdown. Now all they do is kick a field goal to tie and go to overtime. I'm hoping that we can just get this done. I'm hoping we can just end this game right here. Interception, something like that. Wide open, middle of the field. Dropped it, thank God. That would have been not a good start if he would have been able to do that. So you know what? I'm going to actually tell my guys to back it up a little bit here. Give a little cushion. Back it up. Play for the field goal. If they want to check down in front of it. Oh, that's a huge play. Fletcher Cox might have just ended it right there. And he picked up Jared Goff too. Oh my God, they're chipping each other like crazy. They are going after each other. Fletcher Cox disrespected him by picking him up. I don't know why he would. I mean, we're trying to waste as much time as possible. That's a huge sack. That might have just ended their hopes right there. Brandon Graham trying to get around. Couldn't do it. He throws it away. It's 4th and 16. One final play. One final play. I'm going to tell my boys to give as much cushion as possible. Play as deep as you need to. 4th and 16. To a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. It's one-on-one. Interception, Malcolm Jenkins. And that's the ball game. Just go down. And the boys are back in the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles, 2 straight years in the bowl game. Woo! Let's go, baby. That's awesome. And Carson Wentz, the big dog, is doing it. I mean, if we win a 2nd straight Super Bowl, I feel like we fixed Carson Wentz's career. He's a true 99. And he's getting the job done, brother. Huge game. That Fletcher Cox sack was maybe the biggest play of the entire game right there. That was a massive play. Ajayi goes up to a 95. I mean, we're just feeling it. We're feeling ourselves right now, and it's feeling good. It's feeling pretty good. Who we play in the Super Bowl? We played the Chargers in year 1. Who's going to be the year 2 Super Bowl champions or AFC champions? It'll be the Chargers again. It's deja vu. We played the Rams in the NFC title game, and then we get to the Super Bowl, we play the Chargers, and Jared Goff again won the MVP of the league. It is basically a carbon copy of last year. This is pretty crazy. We've beaten them once. Let's go beat them a second time. We are here in the Super Bowl round 2 with the LA Chargers. I don't really necessarily fear them as much as I did the Rams, and we were able to get past them twice. So I don't know how easy this is going to be. I mean, it could be pretty difficult. We are up 7-3 though as we enter second half territory here. If we could put up another touchdown, I feel very comfortable. Well, not very comfortable. Okay, a field goal is not great, but at least they can't take the lead. They do tie. They're driving. We have the ball. The game is on the line. Make a big stop here. I thought we were going to be on offense. I'd rather be on offense. I believe in the defense. And we got it. Okay, big drive to end the game. Here we go. This is what we game planned for. This is why we won the Super Bowl last year. Carson Wentz, Super Bowl MVP. This is the reasons how he did it. Cooper Kupp gets a nice catch right there. And you know what? We only need a field goal to win. I think I might turn chew clock on. We might get a little chew clock action in here so that we can take this game to the end, basically. As Ajayi will get the first down at the 2-minute warning exactly. It is 10-10. This game can be over right here. I would really love it to be. This could be an Odell Beckham Jr. play. It might have to be. Gonna get that to Odell. Big catch, 2nd and 2. Carson's done a good job in this game. He hasn't done anything to win or lose us the game. He's been kind of managing it. Ajayi will get a nice carry. I think he broke a tackle in there too. That's a really nice carry from Ajayi. He's been a solid running back for us, especially now that he's in the 95 club. He's been a great player for us. Hand off to Ajayi again. He doesn't break that tackle, but now the Chargers are using their timeouts. And now I'm going to take the chew clock off because now they're starting to see the game plan here. So I'm going to line up the field goal for Jake Elliott. Make them use their final timeouts. And if Jay Ajayi wants to get us a first down, which he did right there, that seals the game basically. Because now we don't have to worry about punting the ball back to them. Well, we wouldn't have to punt the ball back to them anyway, but we don't have to worry about a 4th down situation. We can just basically run that last timeout out, and now we either try to score, I guess, or we line up the field goal specifically for Jake Elliott. And I think we go for the touchdown, but if we end up can't getting it before the time runs out, then we go for the field goal. And it looks like we might have to go for the field goal there because that was a poor run on 3rd and 5. And now I'm going to use this. I'm going to drain the clock. I'm going to line up the field goal center right down the middle for Jake Elliott to win us our 2nd straight Super Bowl. But we gotta waste a little bit of time here. Okay, we were able to drain the play clock all the way down. Now we just go right down the middle. And we take the game clock all the way down to 3 seconds. Call our timeout. Boom. And Jake Elliott will line up a 30-yard field goal right down the middle. No wind. This couldn't get easier for Jake Elliott. And the Philadelphia Eagles will be back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Well, we basically fixed Carson Wentz's career because not only did we get him the actual ring that he won when he was on that Philadelphia Eagles team, but we got him an extra one that he never would have had in real life. But I do think I want to go one more season. Not because we need to fix Carson Wentz's career any further. We've already done that. That's already been accomplished. I only want to go another season because I want to see the realization of Jalen Bolden. I want to see him how high he can get. So that's basically the reason why I want to go one final season. I don't care if we win the Super. It'd be awesome if we win a 3rd straight Super Bowl, but Super Bowl is not the point this time. And it looks like Jay Ajayi is going to get the MVP of the Super Bowl. He is. Jay Ajayi with the Super Bowl MVP. He's not even going to get the Carson Wentz isn't even going to get to hold the trophy. It's going to be Ajayi. But we managed the game. We won it. Carson Wentz gets his 2nd straight Super Bowl, but I want to see Jalen Bolden. I want to see how good he can become in this 3rd season. So we're gonna go one more year just to find that out. So let's get past this And I might try to build the team in free agency around Jalen Bolden. I mean, there's not really much else I can do. We already have a great quarterback. We have $85.5 million. We will upgrade the points. I mean, Carson Wentz can't get any higher as a true 99 overall, so he's already killing it. We've got ourselves any dev trade upgrades? I'd love it. I mean, the big dog, he's an X factor now. He's so good. I'm pretty sure he was only superstar, right? If we go to progression history, it says he doesn't have an upgrade like to Superstar X Factor. It doesn't say plus Superstar X Factor. So he might have just been an X Factor, but on the field it was showing Superstar because it had the star underneath his body, not the X. I don't know what it was, but he's an X Factor now. I want to go one more season, see how high he can get up because I think that'd be pretty fun. Ajayi's developing really, really well, as you would expect. And then on defense, nobody gets a depth trade upgrade that I notice. I'm just seeing some good overall upgrades. So that's nice to see, especially with that morale boost. But the season recap, Ajayi gets the MVP of the Super Bowl. Jared Goff is the MVP of the league again. And then Von Miller and DeAndre Hopkins are the coaches of the year, are the offensive and defensive player of the year. Okay, let's get to the re-sign period. I'm not sure who's going to be here, but we have $85 million, so we can really splurge, especially because this is the final year. So, and it's Carson Wentz, but he only has an option, thank God. So we don't have to pay him crazy. We do have to pay a big amount of money to Odell Beckham Jr., but I am happy to do so because Odell is going to pair alongside Bolden very well. And we are going to pay an exorbitant amount of money for Odell Beckham Jr. And he's happy to come back. Welcome back, Odell Beckham. Jordan Hicks, I want back. So we'll get him back on a $4.5 million salary and maybe an $8 million bonus. And he's going to come back. $46 million. Who else is on this list? Jake Elliott, we absolutely want back. I'm going to get him back on a 7-year deal, even though we're only going one more season. I'll get him back on a 7-year deal just in case. He's going to come back, $39 million. We'll get Ronald Darby back just for cornerback depth. He hasn't really taken that step I was hoping he would, but it's because he's kind of been buried on the depth chart a little bit. $28 million available. We don't need Nelson Aguilar anymore. We don't necessarily need Chance Warmack. That's a tougher one. I don't know if we need Chance Warmack or not. I mean, I think he's our starter right now. If we go to the adjust the lineup screen, he is our starting left guard. If we lose Chance Warmack, we'd have to go to Isaac Seumalo or draft somebody. I guess we could just move Jack Mewhort. That's kind of why we signed Jack Mewhort in the first place. We could just move Mewhort over to the left side, but he'd be slightly lower of an overall. Only by 2, because Warmack's a true 80, and he's a 78. So that's a little bit annoying. We could just re-sign him, I guess. That's not a big deal. I think I'm going to... I need to go to the defense side of things, because I want to see, do we need to bring back Nigel Bradham? We just brought back Jordan Hicks. We've got Navarro Bowman. We have Shaq Barrett. I think I might just re-sign the rest of the guys, or at least the 2 main guys that I was talking about, Bradham and Warmack. We might as well just bring these 2 guys back and then just keep the roster the way that it is, because, I mean, we won a Super Bowl, so why would we go away too far from what we just did? So we offer Nigel Bradham a contract. We go to Chance Warmack. He really wants to be here, which is very helpful, although this is negative money, unfortunately, so we'll have to lower it slightly to about 9.6, and he's going to come back. Okay, so that's literally all the money that we can offer. We weren't ever going to bring back Nelson Aguilar in the first place, but we do get everybody back. We refill the team. Now we don't have any money in free agency, but that's not the end of the world because we have a 2-time Super Bowl winning team, so it's not like there's going to be anybody game-changing in free agency. To the best players, James Devlin, which that warms my Patriot heart right there. I love James Devlin. One of my favorite players on those 2010s Patriots teams. I love James Devlin, baby. Fullback underappreciated. James Devlin's the GOAT. I think he had to retire because he hurt his neck a couple times. I think that's right. I know he had to retire earlier than he probably would have wanted to. But he was a stud. I love James Devlin. He was the reason why I started liking fullbacks. Started playing more of like a fullback style of offense in Madden. So the top of the class has a corner, a D tackle. We might as well find out how good that corner is. A D tackle round 1. Who's the top 5 guys? We haven't found any top 5 true talents just yet. Very interesting. The free safety is not as good as I was hoping for. I don't even know where we go with this pick because remember, we don't have a lot of draft picks. I traded a lot of them away to get a bunch of different players. So I might not even go into this draft. I have no idea. I have no plan about what the draft is going to look like. If we have our first round pick, I think I was able to keep our first round pick. It's going to be pick 32, obviously. Let me go to the mock draft. Actually, no. Let not go to the mock draft first. Let me go to the pick selection. What do we have in our capital here? So we have 1, 2, and 3. That's all we have. We have a first round, a second round, and a third round from the Jets. And that is literally all we have for this year. And they're all the final pick of each round. So I guess we just start the draft and simulate to our pick. I might not even pick anybody. I might pick our first round pick. So let's go next user pick. All right, make our selection. Who's going to be available? I have absolutely no idea. Does it really matter? I don't know, maybe. There's a quarterback. We don't need a quarterback. But there is a wide receiver here. Is he fast? Isaiah Phelps. I mean, that's a good last name. But he ran 4.5. Nah, he looks kind of garbage. Okay. So we just go over here to the physical side of things, and we look for elite speed. That's basically what we do. There is a tight end with elite speed, a wide receiver with elite speed, a middle linebacker with elite speed is intriguing. Aaron Cooks, 4.5 speed. Does Aaron Cooks make it to the final pick of the second round? I mean, we could hope. Let me take a quick look at the wide receiver. No, that's Aaron Cooks again. Let me take a quick look at it because there was another wide receiver there. So let me take a quick look at the wide receiver. Here he is, Luke Hargrove, 6 foot 4.2 speed. I can't pass that up. I can't pass up 4.2 speed. Him and Bolden together, that's unbelievable. He's a speed burner. He's got hidden depth, 97 speed, 90 acceleration. We're going to be having a track meet every single Sunday. Oh my God, we've got Jalen Bolden and now this Hargrove dude. We're unbelievably fast. And that replaces Nelson Aguilar, so that's cool. I wonder if that Cooks dude is still available. If we go to physicals, he was a middle linebacker. And he is still available. Aaron Cooks is still available at middle linebacker. Perfect. So I get both the guys that I wanted. I get both the guys, and he's number 28 in true value with hidden dev. 91 speed at middle linebacker is insanity. Oh my God, okay. That is a stud as well. Why is this draft, or why is this series... Or not series. Why is this video, this rebuild, like the best rebuild I've ever done in terms of getting players? Because these players are unbelievably good. There's Jonathan Villa. He's got fantastic physicals. I'm going to take him at D tackle. And he's number 32 in true value. He doesn't have a dev trait, but we got number 33 in that wide receiver, number 28 in the middle linebacker, and number 32, whatever. What did he say he was? Yeah, number 32 in true value in those 3 draft picks. I'd say that's pretty darn awesome. Now, the D tackle doesn't have a dev trait, but he is still a freak athlete, that's for sure. And I hate that I'm getting all these talented players in this rebuild where it's going nowhere. It's not like we're doing more than just this. But how good is that wide receiver? He's going to be a freak, isn't he? He's a 74 overall with 97 speed, 98 acceleration. Oh my God. 75 and then 74. These 3 picks are some of the best picks we've made. I know it doesn't seem like that because they're not like 80 overalls or like high 70s, but they are absolutely unbelievable. That corner ends up being a 79. But this draft was kind of cheeks in terms of overalls. There was no 80 overall player. But that corner also had 95 speed. I just clocked as we exited that video. So that's kind of crazy. 95 speed corner. I wonder how tall he was. He might have been like 6 foot or something. All right, I'm excited for this final season. I'm just curious to see how good Jalen Bolden can become. I'm already too high on him as it is. I didn't mean to click that. I'm already high on him as it is. He's already a stud. I mean, he's a freak. He's an absolute freak. He's now the number 1 wide receiver. We have Cooper Kupp. We have that Luke Hargrove guy. The offensive line's great. The quarterback is obviously fantastic. He's a true 99. I might want to start Cooks over Navarro Bowman. I know that sounds kind of wild, but I might want to start him over here. So they moved Myles Garrett over to the left side and then put Barnett on the left side. I guess that's fine. Doesn't bother me too much. The corners are looking good. Safeties are good. I mean, this team could go undefeated. I'm not saying they will by any means. We're probably going to lose 4 or 5 games, I would guess. But I wouldn't be surprised if this team is the number 1 seed and has like 2 or 3 losses. This team looks unbelievably good. So I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3, the final season. We finish up the final season, and we actually were the 1 seed this time. Finally, the Rams or the Seahawks or whoever was the 1 seed before is not the 1 seed this time. It is us at 14 wins. We were the best team by a little bit. The Falcons were close at 12-5, but we were the best team pretty much by far in this final season. How did Carson Wentz and the boys do? I mean, this is the third straight year of fantastic numbers from Carson Wentz. Over 4,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, under 5 interceptions is crazy with a 74% completion percentage. Oh my God. And Ajayi just continues to be dominant. I think he's like a 96 or something. He's got to be at least a 96 or 97. Cooper Kupp gets over 1,000 yards and 16 touchdowns. Beckham, Jalen Bolden's a stud. It looks like, unfortunately, our guy, where's he at? Did he not even get it? He's not even on the list. I was going to say our guy, Hargrove, didn't even get a touch. He's not even on the list, so that's a little interesting. Whatever. Defensively, Jordan Hicks continues to be a stud. Jalen Mills, Sidney Jones, tackle for loss leaders Jernigan. That's nice to see Jernigan actually get some reps and get some nice usage. Sack leaders Fletcher Cox. At the D tackle spot, 17 sacks is crazy. He's not even Aaron Donald. Jernigan had 10.5, Bradham 4.5. 2 for Garrett. Garrett's kind of been like a whatever player, which is very weird to say when you're talking about Myles Garrett. Aaron Cooks had an interception at middle linebacker, which is pretty fun. But Myles Garrett has been just kind of a guy. He hasn't even been like a key piece to the team since we traded for him, which is kind of weird. We take on the Cardinals in the divisional round. We beat them. So for the third straight year, we take we go to the NFC Championship. At least we're not playing the Rams this year. We take on the Seattle Seahawks, who last year were the number 1 seed, and I'm assuming lost to the Rams at some point because we didn't play them. They went 9-8 this year. We will jump in. We will play the Seahawks. It's the Bird Bash here in the NFC Championship. Can we go to the Super Bowl for the third straight time? Here we go in the NFC Championship in the link. I'm expecting pretty much a dominant performance. I'm expecting a blowout, but I mean, you never know with Madden simulation, especially in quick manage. You never know what happens here, but it is 21-0. The offense for Seattle seems to not be able to do anything. They do put up a touchdown, 21-7, but we put up another one, 28-7. We're in the late fourth quarter stages here. It is still 27, 28-14 now, and I'm assuming it's going to be over here. Just put it in. Yep, there it is, 28-14. The Eagles go back to the Super Bowl for the third straight year. I'm pretty sure, even if we don't win a championship here, as Russell Wilson falls again to us, for the first time, I guess. 4 touchdowns and 338 yards. Yeah, we've definitely brought Carson Wentz a different career. He's probably thought of at this point as maybe the greatest quarterback in the league. Certainly of the past couple of years, because I know Brady's still in the league, but I mean, there's no Patrick Mahomes. I mean, well, there is a Patrick Mahomes, but he's not the Patrick Mahomes of what he is in real life. I wonder if he's even starting in Kansas City at this point. They might have stayed with Alex Smith. I guess we could take a look at that before we take on, it looks like, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 12-5. So it is Doug Peterson's current team in real life, the Jags, versus his old team, who he's coaching in this, the Philadelphia Eagles. But I quickly want to check the Chiefs, because I want to see if Mahomes, if I could learn how to spell, I want to see if Mahomes has taken that step. He's a 95. Well, he's playing up to morale. But Mahomes has taken that next step, and this team is dangerous. They're going to be a problem in the future. They've got 95 or 99 overall Tyreek Hill, who's 25. They've got Kareem Hunt, who's up to a 99 with morale boost, but he's 24. Kelsey's only 29. He's a 97. Mahomes is here at a 95. He's only 23. They've got Marcus Peters, who's 26. I mean, this team is a freaking nightmare. This team is unbelievably good. And Chris Jones hasn't even ascended yet. And he will, I'm assuming. So, I mean, this team is unbelievably good. So I'm glad that we're getting out of this before the Chiefs make their ascension, because I don't want to play them. I don't want to play them at all. But we got to take on the Jaguars. If we win this game, we are 3 straight Super Bowl champions, a dynasty in Philadelphia, and Carson Wentz's career is completely fixed. We've arrived at the Super Bowl. Philly versus Jacksonville. Carson Wentz has a chance to make history. A 3-time Super Bowl champion is on the table. Can he get it done? I mean, we won 14 games in the regular season. We crushed the Seahawks in the NFC title game, but the Jags lead 14-10 as we go into the half. Let's get some stuff going here. 21-10. It's getting a little bit shaky here. Come on, defense. Oh, I don't know if it's going to happen. Carson Wentz's career might be over. 24-18. Big drive at the end of the game. Of course, we're going to jump in here. Now, it doesn't really matter if we win the game or not. I would love to win a 3rd straight Super Bowl, but the fact that we've gotten to the Super Bowl for the 3rd straight year is already a dynasty in the process. And you know I got to send Jalen Bolden deep. I mean, he's got that burner speed. Send him deep and see what happens. Oh, Carson, how did that ball not get there? How does that ball not get to Jalen Bolden? That's unbelievable. All right, we'll see what happens next. 2nd and 10. I got to roll. Oh, somehow I got away from that. I guess I got to scramble. I don't have anything else. I was able to fumble the football, and the offensive lineman, I don't know who that was, but he jumped on the football, thank God. This is not going very well, is it? This is not going well at all. 2-minute warning has arrived here in the Super Bowl, where it looks like we're in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So Atlanta, right? Or New Orleans? Who's got that stadium? I think it's Atlanta. I don't honestly know. Who cares? Let's see what we can get. What can we get here? We got Bolden running across the middle. Fire that in there. That's a little bit of a bad throw, and it's dropped on the hit. Odell Beckham Jr. It's a tough shot he had to take. I understand it's a tough shot, but you got to hold on to that, big dog. You got to hold on to that. You're Odell Beckham Jr. for a reason. Oh, don't scramble, and I threw that one away. X was wide open. I was just across my body. It was never going to work, was it? And I think we just threw away our chance. Although we are in the red zone now, 27-18. So, final play of the game. We have no timeouts. We snap. We fire. Back of the end zone, intercepted, and the Jaguars will win the Super Bowl. But I'd say that's a fine end. The Jacksonville Jaguars have won the Super Bowl. Congratulations to them. Carson Wentz unfortunately falls. No touchdowns in the game for Carson. I guess Blake Bortles was just the better player today. He was just a better player today. But this has to be one of my most successful rebuilds in a while. Winning 2 straight Super Bowls? When does that ever happen for me? Usually I just win 1 and then we lose again. But I'd say that was a pretty successful one. And really this 3rd season was only to see how good Jalen Bolden could become. And I think he's up into the 90s because he's a freak. We'll take a quick look at season recap here. So Blake Bortles is the MVP of the Super Bowl. Mahomes does, in fact, win the MVP of the league. So he has officially arrived. And I'm glad we're getting out of here before we have to take them on, because I would be terrified. That Chiefs team looks scary good. But let's take one final look at this roster, see what we've built with Carson Wentz at the helm. He's a true 99 overall X-Factor quarterback, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Ajayi has ascended to X-Factor. Not shocking at all. He's a 97 overall. We brought in Odell Beckham Jr. He's a freak. But this might be the most freaky player I've ever drafted. Jalen Bolden out of Alabama, 6'3". He's got 96 speed, 97 excel. His catching was already phenomenal. I think it was like an 88 when we got him. He's got great catch in traffic. His route running's got even better, obviously. His spec catch was already a 99 when we drafted him, I'm pretty sure, right? His jumping is 99. I mean, he's an unbelievable player. This is the best wide receiver I've ever drafted in any series, and that's saying something because I drafted Dickie Guyton a couple of years back in Madden 23. I think that might have been. Madden 23 or 24. I think it was 23. Whatever it was. He was a freak. I thought there wasn't going to be anybody better than him, but Jalen Bolden is certainly better than him. Because Dickie Guyton was good. He was a physical freak, but he wasn't as fast. Jalen Bolden's a stud. I love him. Carson Wentz, we have achieved his career goals. Aaron Cooks ends up being a superstar development player, so that ends up looking like a drafting god type of move by me, as you would expect. I am the drafting god. And that is a freak middle linebacker. I mean, this guy is athletic as all... Like, you wouldn't want it more athletic. This dude can do everything. He's a stud. He's going to get to a 90-plus very, very soon, within the next couple of years. This team was fun to build. I mean, it was a little bit easier because we started with a very good foundation. We had already a pretty good offense. We didn't really have to change too much. The offensive line stayed pretty much the same, except for Jason Peters retiring. The offensive line was pretty much the same. Zach Ertz stayed around. We did completely overhaul the wide receiver room, but that was pretty obvious. Ajayi ascended way more than I thought he would. And then on defense, we changed a few things. We added in a new middle linebacker, but the linebacking core in general is the same. The safeties are the same. We added in one new corner in Stephon Gilmore, and then we traded for Myles Garrett. We really didn't do too much to this team. all we needed to do, and that was kind of the goal. The goal was to make this man right here, Carson Wentz, fix his career. And it's pretty safe to say that we fixed Carson Wentz's NFL career. He's now probably the face of the league, 2-time Super Bowl champion. I mean, look at these stats he's got together. Look at these. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, 1-time Super Bowl MVP. He is most likely the best quarterback in the league, if not tied for it. I guess we could take a look. He's probably the best quarterback in the league because he's a true 99, other than like Patrick Mahomes, who's not a true 99 just yet. He will be, but he's not just yet. If we go to the entire NFL, Carson Wentz, at least at quarterback, is one of two. Him and Jared Goff are the two sole 99 overall players. Everybody else is playing up to a 99 with morale boosts, or playing up to whatever they are. Like Derek Carr's not a true 99. He's probably like a 98 or 97 or something like that. He's a 98, but he's playing up. That's crazy. But Carson Wentz and Jared Goff are both true 99s, two of the best quarterbacks in the league from the 2016 NFL draft class. Jared Goff won 2 MVPs in this series, or in this rebuild. Yeah, I'd say we completely fixed Carson Wentz's NFL career. Very successful video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Super fun. If you did enjoy it, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and like I said earlier in the video, maybe in the intro or something at the very beginning of the video, if you have any suggestions for players of Carson Wentz's ilk you want to see me take on and try to fix their career in this 2018 roster on PS5, then let me know down below in the comments, and I will certainly take them on in the future. I've got a couple other ideas that I want to do as well. So be on the lookout for those. And like I mentioned before, once we get the good rosters on PC, the good modded rosters like the old school, like maybe 2012 or 2016 or 2005, whatever the rosters may end up being, and we get a bunch of draft classes, then we will shift over and do some more modding content on the PC version of Madden so that we can get even more retro stuff going on. I can't wait for that. I always love doing that stuff. So be on the lookout. There's going to be a lot of content coming on the channel very, very soon, as well as the normal content that we normally have, like with the college football stuff with like Hawaii, and then and the team builder, and then like the Tampa Bay Buccaneer series isn't going anywhere. So there's a lot of content on the channel. I can't wait. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. And to join the ride, make sure you subscribe to the World of Juice channel. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.